Hey, live on Pat's Soundbytes IGTV, keeping new music alive on the radio and on video, and not only in the States, as you know. We've had artists from Sweden, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, and of course the United Kingdom and Scotland and Ireland. And I got this cool cat in the house today, Mr. James Warren, founding member, vocalist, bassist of the British pop group called the Korgis, and they are rocking a Cartoon World, which has just came out not too long ago. James, how are you? Thanks for your time today.
Oh, I'm good, and it's great fun to be speaking to you.
Yeah, it took a little while, but we were happy. I'm happy to finally get out of my Cartoon World and line up something. And I got to say happy birthday to our buddy Dave Hill, which was yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm trying to catch up to him, but I can't. Every year I get closer, but he keeps moving ahead. So happy birthday, Dave. We love you, and I don't know what I do without Mr. Dave Hill for all my friends and artists over in the United Kingdom. Before I start about the album, James, how are you? How's your family? How's everybody dealing with this whole COVID pandemic? I know it's starting to pick up here in the States again. How are you? Everybody okay?
Yeah, been very lucky, really. Managed to escape unscathed, but it's been a shocker, hasn't it? It's been a real shock. I mean, all the gigs cancelled, our lives turned upside down. But luckily, me and my family have all escaped from any problems. So very lucky.
Same here, pal. Same here. I am blessed to have escaped that headache, and I just wish it had just go away. But I've been finally gone to a few live shows. Some of them have been outdoors more than the indoor thing. But and I know you've been rehearsing, and you got some gigs coming up. I think even tomorrow. So that's a good thing that you're able. The live shows are picking up in the UK as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I think especially next year, things are going to get a bit more back to normal. That's my feeling. I know we've got this new variant of COVID, which has just come on the scene, Omicron, but it doesn't seem to be as big a nightmare as people first thought. And I reckon we'll be able to deal with it. And yeah, I'm optimistic. 2022, things are going to be a bit more back to normal. Yeah.
I like that. I like that attitude. We have to be that. I mean, there's viruses all the time. It's never going to stop. It's all how we handle it. And hopefully the medical folks get on top of it the minute they hear about something like that. Yeah. Well, your first album, is it right? First album in 30 years?
That's right. The last official Korgis album was like 1992, something like that. Yeah.
Wow. Cartoon World. I love it. I love the concept. I love the album cover. I love the little bits here about everybody. I thought it was pretty funny. You got the single out. The best thing you can do is love someone, which we've been playing. And I hope all of our listeners really share that and get out there. And I'll have James tell us in a minute where we can buy it besides probably the Korgis.com, which might be the easiest. And it's not only, I know, Dave, James, you could tell me about the vinyl. I know there was an issue with the delay, and that's everywhere anymore because of the pressing. But the album is set to be in vinyl, deluxe double CD, a box set. You can get posters, you can get a t-shirt. I encourage you to go check it out. So where did you come up with this idea? I mean, it's so relevant reading, of how, some of the liners that I read on the album. I mean, we live in a world of untold riches, but many people are poor. So true. We live in a land of abundance, but many go hungry. We live in a society where material possessions outweigh spiritual health. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, come on. We got to turn things around, especially for our kids and maybe future generations. Was that the thought, James, when you guys sat down and said, hey, let's put something together here?
That was exactly it. So my colleague in the Korgis, Al Steele, that I wrote most of the stuff on this album with, yeah, his daughter does animation in cartoons, and she started doing these cartoons of the Korgis during lockdown, just to sort of give us a bit of like promotion. She just sort of put them out there, you know, on social media. But that gave Al the idea, well, maybe we could sort of, you know, think, you know, about more about cartoons, and you know, reflect on what lockdown has shown us about our lives these days in society, all these divisions that are still there, you know, and all the political corruption that goes on. And so it became the inspiration to the whole bunch of songs on Kartoon World, you know, reflecting on the fact that we live in this crazy cartoon world with all these ridiculous divisions. And you'd think that by now we'd learnt how to live more in a more civilized way, but yet we're still sort of struggling with all these old sort of ways of relating to each other, which just don't work very well.
You know, sometimes I don't want to get into a political thing, but it just drives me crazy to get rid of all these politicians and come up with people that really care to do the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
we're told, I don't even watch the news anymore, James, because it's so depressing. I just play new music and keep my spirits happy and just move on. It just, every day there's a shooting, there's this, there's that.
Crazy,
people can't live, the prices are sky high. I mean, what happened? You know, I'm like, come on, it's insane. But I took it as playing the tracks, James. I really fell in love with bringing back the spirit of love. I got a kick out of La La Land. I think it is a journey that you could put into CD and follow. It's a concept album, but the real message I got was really all about love. Am I correct with that, James?
You are correct. You are correct. This was, you know, the sort of the thing we wanted to put across more than anything else, is that when it comes down to it, you know, it's only by being kind to each other, you know, loving each other, like we used to say in the 1960s. But that it's true. I mean, that is the only way we're going to sort of get beyond all the sort of nonsense that goes on in our society. We've just got to be more kind and more spiritual towards each other, and not just sort of, you know, get caught up in sort of ridiculous political stuff. It you know, it doesn't work. We just have to sort of look at life differently. Yeah.
I agree. I always tell my kids, and they're in their 30s, to just open the door for somebody. Just be nice, you know, say hello and do the right thing. It's not about race and color and age and all this garbage. It's about, we're all human beings. We got a beautiful place, and, you know, that the good Lord put us on. And it's like, you know, we're running out of water and climate and gas and fuel and, you know, all this viruses and nuclear stuff. And I mean, why can't we all just get along? So I encourage folks to certainly buy your album. I love the message of love. I love some of the tracks are great. I mean, that I relate to. I'm a lyric guy. I want to hear the message. Even though music is up to the interpretation of the listener, I like to hear the message and what I can bring to it. So I think it's great. Talk to me about the songwriting and the recording process, James. Were you able to get Al and John and everybody into a recording studio, or did you in the UK have to send WAV files back and forth? Does everybody live kind of local?
Yeah, that was exactly it. When the lockdown started, we were writing stuff in our own little, you know, in our own studios and our own rooms, because we couldn't get together in person. So it really was a matter of coming up with some basic ideas, sending those files over to Al. He would add some more, you know, ideas to my ideas, send them back, and so on. And eventually we built up songs like that. And as soon as lockdown eased in the UK, when we could get together in person, then we got John and the rest of the band in the studio and started to record those ideas properly. But yeah, it did start off literally everyone in their separate sort of little studios sending things, you know, via their computers. Yeah. So
I mean, you got to love technology, and I get it. I mean, I'm not a musician, and I know, you know, obviously there's a cost that comes with everything, studio time and this and that. But I would think, uh-oh, I lost you somewhere.
oh,
Where'd you go?
don't know. I can hear. Can you hear me still?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can't see the pic. That's weird, isn't it? Don't know what's happened there. I haven't done anything different my end, but I mean, I can still hear you.
I haven't done anything.
Share screen. It says host disabled at attendee screen sharing.
Where? How did I do that?
Weird. Maybe did you hit a button by mistake or something?
No, I haven't. I haven't touched anything either. I say we live in a technical world, and look what happened.
Oh my God!
We really pissed somebody. We pissed somebody off. Let me shut off my video here and come back on. Is that? Can you?
Yeah, I can see you clearly. Yeah, you haven't changed at all.
Can you?
But my image is not there anymore.
Gallery. We want the gallery. Where I got up there. That don't work. Where'd you go? Huh?
Weird.
I didn't touch anything.
I've not experienced this before. Strange. Well,
you want to log out? You want to log out?
On anyway?
Yeah, we can obviously carry on.
We'll just carry on.
Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1. Well, we lost James, but he's still on the Zoom. We just lost his image, but James is still on. I was saying, James, you know, I'm not a musician, and I know technology is great anymore, courtesy of I want to say Zoom and Skype and all that we can actually maybe see each other for at least a little bit. But all the magic happens in the recording studio, I would imagine, with everybody together, right, James? That's when somebody says, Al might say, hey, try this, try that, compared to the whole WAV file thing.
Yeah. That really was when the whole thing really started to happen. You know, before that, it was just ideas. It was sort of, you know, coming up with and thinking, well, you know, this seems like it could be good. It seems like it could work. But it really was when everyone got together in the studio, and then it really
the magic is there, right? The magic could happen.
Yeah, we knew we were making a proper album then. Yeah, that was great.
We got to show, speaking of love, we got to send our love to your bandmates of John Baker, Al Steele, Paul Smith, Nigel Hart, and I love the Born to Win trio of backing vocalists, Emmy Rivers, Jay Marshall, and Ava Volante and her shoe collection. I mean, what are we going to do with Ava and her shoe collection? Is it going to fit in the castle?
Oh, it's a great team. You know, it's a great band to work with. And I just wish we could come to the States one day, or in North America generally, and just do some gigs. It'd be fantastic.
Oh, we would love to have you. I love the little bits here on the album cover. It kind of gives you a little taste of the personality of everybody. I mean, I think of when I see everything about James Warren, I just hear love with all the songs and your person. I read Al and I thought of the, you know, Out of Space. And John stuck in the 80s, and the trio moving into a castle if they can fit Ava's shoes there. Paul has got a TV comedy show where the star is a magical clock. And who did I miss? Nigel. What is Nigel up to these days?
Yeah, there he is. He's sat on the top of the letter K, look, on Cartoon. That's Nigel with the dark glasses and his arms folded.
Okay. And he's got something going on with that money magic tree, right? It just comes from the sky. Oh my goodness. James, tell me, I mean, obviously for many songwriters, songwriting, is that therapeutic for songwriters like yourself and Al, where you know, have dealt with something in a relationship, experienced something, or even like today with Kartoon World, at what we're all experiencing, that you use music as the vehicle of expression to get what's up here out there? Would you say
Yeah,
is that?
absolutely. That's definitely it. I mean, I can't imagine what I would do if I didn't have music to express what's going on in my head. Probably go mad, yes. And I mean, it really is the perfect therapy. You know, if you can play an instrument and if you can sing, then you know you got to be out there doing it, and there's nothing like it.
Does it start for you with a lyric or an idea, or were you like on a guitar and came up with a riff? How does that work for you?
With me, it's always the music first. And these days, I haven't been so active with writing lyrics. Well, in previous years, I used to write the words to my songs as well. But Al is very, very keen on lyric writing these days. So I was a bit lazy during the lockdown. I came up with musical ideas, sent them across. And Al came up with his own musical ideas as well and sent them to me to sort of, you know, think about. But then I said, you know, Al, you know, if you've got any ideas for words, you know, for this one, have a go. And he was really up for it. And yeah, I mean, it was effortless. So, I mean, we owe it to Al for the most part for getting, you know, the sort of basic feeling of the songs into a lyrical format. And I think that the words are great.
And Al is also a vocalist in the band that I read.
Multi-instrumentalist as well. Yeah, he's got it all.
How much of a challenge for you as the main vocalist when Al writes these songs that you have to really own it to be emotional, like when you're getting ready for a live show tomorrow and upcoming this week, that you got to have ownership of it, that you have to have the feeling. How hard is it for you to absorb that, to say to Al, what were you really looking to get at? Or does he give you the flexibility to go take it to wherever you feel more comfortable with?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. It's a bit of him, you know, allowing me to sort of interpret it the way I naturally feel it. But also when we were recording the album, with songs where the ideas were mainly his, he would suggest, you know, yeah, just, you know, sing those lines like this, you know, and you need to emphasize those bits and so on. So so it was a bit of both, and it worked very happily. It was easy.
I mentioned upcoming gigs. I know I'm going to post our audio on my worldwide podcast anyway. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to share where your upcoming shows are going to be, starting with tomorrow, if you don't mind. And then we could also tell everybody to go to your website for more of where they can find you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Korgis.com. People should log on to Korgis.com and everything is there. All the info about the band and all the products that we have available. You can access everything through that website. So I would recommend that, Korgis.com.
And as I mentioned earlier, like anywhere else with new records, vinyl pressing has been delayed and pushed back. And I did read that. Probably the same headache for you guys, but you also have the CDs available, right? There's 2 CDs and the box set.
That's right. Yeah. We got the full package. We thought we may as well, because we had so much time on our hands with all the lockdown business. We knew we weren't going to be able to go out there and promote the stuff through gigs. So we thought, let's do the whole package. Have CDs, have box sets, have vinyl. I mean, we wanted to have the vinyl come out first, but as you pointed out, there was this global shortage. So the vinyl came out well after the CDs were all ready to go. But yeah, we wanted to have everything that people might want to have our music on, you know, have it all available. So that's worked out well.
Is tomorrow the first time you've been on the stage in probably a year, James?
I think it is. Let me think.
It's got to be so exciting to have that feeling, like, oh my God, feeling the energy from the audience that, you know, we take it for granted. I'm not a musician, but just getting on stage to introduce a band. And now I look back after a year with pictures with different bands and I go, what happened? So for you, it's got to be able to see everybody, rehearse with everybody, and see your friends and see the fans again and feel that live energy. It's got to be an emotional night for somewhat, right?
Oh, yeah. There's nothing like it. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Any other projects upcoming that we can help promote for you?
I don't think so. I think we're going to sort of really try and get this album out there and get people aware of this album, because we're very pleased with how it's turned out. We're proud of what we've done, and we you know, it deserves a good listening out there, I think, in the wider world. So we're going to do whatever we can to get that album out there, you know, social media, radio, whatever it may be, and of course gigs in 2022. So yeah, so we're going to give it a good bash, you know, for the next sort of 6 months or so. We're going to keep on with this album.
Well, I love the album. I love the best thing you can do is love someone. I love the whole love theme, because we need a lot more of that. Bringing back the spirit of love, La La Land. We're going to throw a bunch more on our rotation. You can go to thechorus.com and purchase it. We hope to get James and the band over here in the States for 2022. And you mentioned, James, I know you're on all the socials, right? Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah. It's all there. It's all there. Please come and join us. And
go to their YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button and like the videos. The videos are very cool. All good stuff. James, we finally got the chat. I don't know how I lost you. I say technology, and I don't want to say it too much, but I hope you enjoyed the chat as much as I have, and I'm looking forward to getting you back again, maybe with Al next time in the new year, and tell us how it's going and what other projects you're doing, and any way that we could promote you here in New York in the United States.
That'll be great. Thanks, Pat. Look forward to that.
Keeping new music alive is what I do. It doesn't matter where it is. There's great music all over the world, like this gentleman's got, James Warren and his band, The Chorus. Go check out this album. You will not be disappointed. Cartoon World. Go get it today. Best of health, best happy holidays. Send my best to the band. And looking forward to more, James, as soon as you can get things going.
Oh, that's fantastic, Pat. Thanks so much for having me on. Speak to you again.
My pleasure, my man. Be safe and well.
You too, man. Bye for now.
Bye now.